Hello guys, my name is Pablo and welcome to another video about this 2019 Ford Taurus that I got from the auction. Can you guys see any damage on here? Yes, this car did come from an auction. It was deemed as a total loss. And what for? I'm just kidding. So the reason that it was written off is it does have very little, I'm not even sure if the camera will pick it up. There's little small dings on the roof, so that is from a hail damage event, which is why this car was repaired. But putting it on the auction and deeming it a total loss for that, come on. And the plan for today is actually we're going to take this to an inspection after I give it a little interior clean. It does come dirty inside, so after we clean it, we're going to go to the inspection and we'll see what we're going to have to replace to put it back on the road legally. So let's go ahead and pull it into the garage. So now we're just dropping it off here. They're gonna move it out of the way right away and take it into the shop. Let's see what the inspection says. Hello guys, and we're back from the inspection. As you can see, I have pulled the car into the garage and I do have the results right here. So what was quoted after all is, surprisingly, the windshield washer sprayers are not working, and this little marker light just right here is out. Unfortunately, there is one thing to add to that, is that the windshield is supposed to be replaced. And it's such a weird situation because this crack almost is technically supposed to pass, but it's the fact that it touches both sides. But the guy said he'll make a couple phone calls to the insurance company and he'll let us know for sure. So I am gonna go ahead and feel around here. I think this is the hose that leads to the little sprayers up front. And when I'm pressing it, it's very soft. There is clearly no liquid inside, but I just don't know if the system is meant to have liquid in it at all times or if it only goes up when the motor is on. So I am gonna try to shoot some hot air in there, and as well as maybe the tips are frozen. And if that doesn't work, maybe I'll have to poke inside. Maybe there's some dirt clogged up, but that seems quite unlikely since it's both of them not working, not just one. So we'll see how that goes. So it looks just like that, did it? That's one thing of 3 down. All right, so moving on to issue number 2. Just as an example, when I unlock the car, there is a little bulb that lights up here. When we go look on the other side, I'm gonna unlock the car. That one's out, so we gotta fix that. All right, taking a look inside, what kind of bolts we'll need. Those are just simple screw-on pins. I did find this little hole here. I have no idea how something that big would appear. Maybe like a rock came in flying through here, but who knows? Other than that, these look like some very small, maybe 6 or 7 millimeters. I have just picked up the mother of all lights. I think I am going to take the rest of this fender off because it is just a few bolts and this doesn't give me a lot of access. And that should be the last one. Let's see. Oh, I missed some on the bottom under the snow. Alright. And there that is. I am going to try and go further inside that headlight and see if I can get that bulb out now. I'm just going to go ahead and try to use this 45-degree, slightly sharp end pick tool to get me more reach in that headlight to see if I can get that bulb out finally. Alright, I think I got it. That's the one. So what I was trying to do at first is push this pin in and pull the connector off the light bulb. But then I realized that I could just turn the housing, and if I did pull the connector off the light bulb, that would have just left it inside there, which is exactly what I need to replace. Now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the connector and change out this light bulb. And there's the bulb. So I have taken the housing off the bulb, and just this bulb is what you would go buy at your local parts store to replace that. Alright guys, so I do have the old bulb here and I bought a new one. I didn't have one at home, surprisingly, from the 4 headlights we have spare here. And you can see a little crack in the filament of this one, so that's obvious why it wasn't working. But we're going to go ahead and swap that one on right now. Just before I do that, I am going to put it in here and just make sure it works. So I'm going to grab the key and unlock. There we go. And now that it's installed, I'm going to give it a quick wipe down with rubbing alcohol to get all of that grease from my fingers off to make sure this bulb doesn't heat up too much and burn out like the last one did. Alright, so I think it's in now, and I think what I found worked best for me was I was using this metal trim removal tool, and that's what I used to twist it the rest of the way after I got it placed in its place. But let's make sure that it actually works before I start reassembling the whole thing. So there's the key, unlock, and we do have that bulb there. Nice. So now let's put this whole inner fender lining back on. All right, now that's done, and we'll finish off by putting the wheel back on. And just like that, guys, with the fender liner and the wheel back on, that makes issue number 2 done. And as for the last issue with our windshield, I'm gonna wait to hear back from the insurance agent, and if I do need to change it, then we will go ahead and do that. If I don't, then great.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, and as you can tell, we pulled it into the garage. The heater's been on for a while. I went ahead and taped off the A-pillars and the roof just to make sure we're not scratching the paint on here, and I did pull up this trim so we can get some good access underneath the window on the corners. And what we're going to be using to remove the windshield is just your basic windshield removal kit. We're going to be using this fishing line with the 2 handles that we'll just be pulling from the inside and outside the window, as you'll see right away. And that will be slicing through all the glue all the way around. And when we do get around, the windshield will come off. We are going to be using this license plate just to cover the dash, because as you can tell, when you're pulling the fishing line inside along the windshield, you are likely to damage that. So we're going to be tucking that license plate in and making sure that nothing gets damaged in there. So let's go ahead and do that. All right guys, as you can tell, the wipers are off, and I went ahead and tilted this cowl out of the way. I didn't take off the tube for the wiper sprayers because it looks like it's kind of sitting on there nice, so I don't want to be having leaks after that. So let's go ahead and start cutting the windshield.
Remove, so now to the left.
Alright, so we've just taken off the windshield. We're gonna go ahead and cut down the glue all the way around, and then we're gonna put the new windshield on. Alright, so here we are, guys. I've cut down the glue so it's flush with the metal now. We're ready to put the new glue on. I cut a little stop block for here and I have another one for there so we know exactly the height it was sitting at. So when it tries to slide down, those blocks will hold it up just in the perfect spot. So we're gonna go ahead and put primer on here. We got the new windshield here. We'll put the primer around there and you'll see us putting the bead of glue all the way around, and we'll toss that windshield on and hopefully it's as good as new. Постав на капот.
От. Не впаде. Навіть якщо впаде. Мамуля, підставляй руки. Коротше, твоя задача.
Держи, просто тримай, отак, секунду. Я готовий.
Почекай. Що опускаємо перше? Вверх чи низ? Давай вверх.
Давай вверх. Ну все, вже поставили.
Опускаємо потихеньку. До мене.
Як я дав. Alright guys, so the windshield is in place. Let's let it cure overnight and check back tomorrow. And we're back, guys. It's the next morning. The glass has been sitting overnight and curing with the heater pointed right at it to let it really settle down and get warmed up. So let's go ahead and put everything back on, like the wipers, interior trim, top pieces, the cowl. Alright guys, as you can tell, everything on the inside and outside of the car is back on, which officially means the third problem with the safety inspection is now done, which means this car is finished. With this project being officially finished, I would advise you to stay tuned. I am looking for a few more projects coming up on the channel. It might take me a little bit of time, but if you press that like button and subscribe, that would really help me out to let me know that you guys are interested in seeing more of this stuff. And if there is something I could have done better, please let me know, because I am just starting out and I would like to make these videos as pleasant to watch and as entertainable as possible.